Yes, don't know if it's really necessarily our cup. Would you fancy it, Fraser, by getting us a luxury yacht or that sort of thing? And
if someone wants to invite me, I'd be...
But are you all right on the water, on the ocean wave?
I'm OK, yeah. I like being in the sea.
Well, next summer, luxury yacht, we can all put in a bit of money.
Do you think?
Yeah.
That's putting quite a lot.
A GBNEWS luxury yacht.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, that'd go down well.
I mean, I like the idea of it.
Captain.
I like the idea of it, but I don't know how I'd feel actually being on the boat. I mean, I think I'd get very claustrophobic, and having little children, I'd be paranoid. Like, I wouldn't want to go above deck. I'd just be like, keep away, keep away.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be enjoyable at all.
No, not with little children. I'd be worried with little children.
Also, have you seen Below Deck? Now, that's a reality TV show about people who work on these luxury yachts.
Oh, is that what it is?
And
I've heard of it.
Lots of naughtiness goes on below deck, and the guests have no idea.
It's disgraceful.
You know, it's two different worlds, above and below.
It's going to put you off your toast in the morning.
Lots of celebrities do that kind of job before they become famous.
Well, look at Jane McDonald.
Yeah.
She made a name on cruise ships, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
Doing not below deck, you know. Sorry, Jane.
Performing.
But you know, performing. It's, you know, a lot of the cruises are becoming ever more popular.
They are. There's a bit of a renaissance in people going on cruises. I know lots of people who've booked sort of Mediterranean cruises. I know someone who's booked to go to Florida. They'll go to Disneyland. It's apparently quite cheap as well. It's more affordable. Yeah.
Maybe Emma Thompson will invite me on her next luxury yacht travel trip.
I very much doubt that.
No.
I can imagine you've not been overly complimentary.
No, I did actually tee off on her the other day.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Little bit of climate hypocrisy.
Well, pish posh. Yes, well, yeah, there you go. Should we return to online media? This was on X again, and this I really don't like. Republican activists protesting inside Buckingham Palace. We've got a picture for you of what they did wearing their lovely T-shirts. Not my king, it says across there. Well, if you're British, then he is your king.
Well.
No, Timmy King. You had one job, man with the T. He even cocked that up. Look, they're making a protest. We're allowed to protest in the country. I don't like it, though, Fraser.
Yeah, well, they posed as tourists on a tour, and then they did the big T-shirt reveal, and that's the result. I mean, it's just a bit lame, isn't it? I think, in general, the Republic group, I think they give Republicans a bad name. I'm not in favour of the monarchy, but there's something really... that slogan, "Not my king," it's so narcissistic. You know, it used to be the case that people wanted to abolish the monarchy because they believe in democracy, equality, those kinds of things. Now, at the moment, it's, I feel, you know, it's just saying I feel distaste at the monarchy. Oh, you know, they're too wealthy. Oh, it's too... the pageantry is too much. And often it's very kind of anti... You know, it takes issue with people who support the monarchy. It looks down on them, sees them as dupes and idiots, and I'm not comfortable with that at all. So, you know, the monarchy is not necessarily in the best of health, especially since the late Queen passed away, but it's blessed with really, really terrible opponents who, you know, it seems can't even organise a decent photo shoot.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just sort of think this slogan which emerged around the coronation, all the rest of it, of "Not my king," is just nonsense, because you might not like it, but yes, he is your king.
Yes, I mean, I think the monarchy, I don't think it's super, super, super popular, but most people don't oppose having a monarchy. Most people actually quite like it, and I think that they're very out of step with the way that the majority of people feel. Even if people aren't fervent monarchists, I've heard people say things like, well, you know what, the majority of people want it and they're happy with it, so I'm happy with it. People have a more relaxed attitude, whereas I think they, in opposition, sort of, you struggle to see what they're trying to get at. They're not really building a movement of people. It's not credible, it's kind of cheesy.
It's a bit boring and boorish at the same time, isn't it? Really?
Yes, it's not inspiring.
It's not inspiring, it just seems a bit spiteful.
Well, do they want a president instead? I mean, I can't say I've been...
Yeah, well...
There is no country in the world at the moment where I've been particularly impressed with the presidential system, to be perfectly honest.
I think that's fair, and you know, none of us particularly like our elected politicians either, or prime ministers. But you know, there's a good argument for having a more democratic way of choosing our head of state. I don't think the public are making it.
However, I would say, look at what we've seen in France this last week. And actually, the diplomacy which the King and Queen have carried out, which could not have been done by politicians, they can only do it because they are above politics.
I think we, in terms of being above politics, I think we have to wait and see as far as Charles is concerned, because we know he has some of his own very strong views on a lot of issues. He has, to his credit, kept a lid on that so far. But, you know, who knows when it will come out.
He may be trying to influence behind the scenes.
I want to know what the meetings with him and Rishi Sunak are like on net zero.
Yeah, because we know
I mean,
Charles
Rishi Sunak sort of watering down, tweaking, and I wonder what Charles's opinion is on that. If he expresses his opinion to Rishi Sunak on it.
But interestingly, on that whole net zero thing, I think it's really interesting that it's been, you know, pinned as a U-turn and all the rest of it. Net zero 2050 is still there.
Yes, it's like a minor tweak. It's about, you know, with the car deadline, he's moved it from 2030 to 2035.
Like the rest of Europe.
So I think the reaction to it has been very overblown and very over the top. I really do. I don't think it reflects any huge change in position from Sunak. No. He's just trying to inject, from what I can see, a little bit of pragmatism into the debate. Instead of all or nothing.
It's quite fun to guess which members of the royal family would have voted Brexit.
Oh, if they'd had a vote.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. What do you think, Fraser?
I mean, do you remember when
Harry,
Sun tried to say that... I think Harry voted Remain. But do you think... do you remember when the Sun was trying to suggest that the Queen was pro-Brexit? And caused a, you know, huge row. You know, it's better if we don't know, I think.
Charles Remainer.
I wouldn't like to say, because I've met people over the last few years who you would swear you'd think they'd be one way and then they voted another. And
there you go.
And lots of families are divided. I mean, I know you're an arch Remainer, Emily, but it's, you know, you can't always tell by how people look.
Yes, I did sneak out to the march yesterday.
Did you?
In disguise.
I thought you were there in a blue T-shirt. Look, thanks both. We'll catch up with you a little bit later on. In the meantime, let's have a look at the weather with Craig.